Throughout Christian history, Catholicism and Orthodoxy have shared common roots, but over time, differences emerged, especially after the Great Schism of 1054. In this video, we'll explore the key distinctions between Catholic and Orthodox traditions, and then take a closer look at how the traditional Latin Mass in Catholicism compares to the Orthodox Divine Liturgy. One of the most significant differences is the question of authority. In Catholicism, the Pope is considered the supreme leader with universal jurisdiction, while Orthodoxy operates with decentralized authority among various patriarchs. The role of the Pope in Catholicism contrasts with Orthodoxy's emphasis on conciliarity and the ecumenical patriarch's position as first among equals. Another point of divergence is the filioque clause, added by the Western Church, which states that the Holy Spirit proceeds from both the Father and the Son. Orthodoxy maintains the original wording of the Nicene Creed, believing the Holy Spirit proceeds solely from the Father. Both Catholic and Orthodox traditions hold the sacraments in high regard, but differences exist in their administration. For example, the Catholic Church often administers confirmation in adolescence, while Orthodox Christians receive chrismation immediately after baptism. Language also plays a role in the differences, with the traditional Latin Mass in Catholicism celebrated in Latin, and Orthodox services often conducted in ancient languages like Greek or Church Slavonic. Clerical celibacy is another distinction. Catholic priests in the Latin Rite are required to remain celibate, while Orthodox priests can marry before ordination, though bishops are celibate. Theologically, Catholicism emphasizes systematic theology, particularly influenced by St. Thomas Aquinas, while Orthodoxy places a greater focus on mysticism and theosis, the process of becoming one with God through grace. When it comes to the traditional Latin Mass in Catholicism and the Orthodox Divine Liturgy, there are striking similarities, particularly in their solemnity, structure, and emphasis on the sacred. Both the Latin Mass and the Orthodox Divine Liturgy are deeply reverent. In the Latin Mass, the priest faces east, symbolizing the congregation's collective prayer toward God. This is mirrored in Orthodox services, where the priest also faces east, maintaining the ancient Christian tradition. Language is another point of commonality. While the Latin Mass uses Latin, a sacred language of the Church, many Orthodox liturgies are conducted in ancient languages like Greek or Church Slavonic, adding to the sense of timeless mystery. The Eucharist, or the celebration of the Lord's Supper, is central in both traditions, but with subtle differences. The Latin Mass focuses on the sacrificial nature of the Eucharist, reflecting Christ's sacrifice on the cross. Similarly, in the Orthodox Church, the Eucharist is also seen as a sacrifice, but with a greater emphasis on the mystical union between Christ and the faithful through theosis. Gregorian chant in the Latin Mass and the elaborate a cappella chanting in Orthodox liturgies also elevate the worship experience. Both traditions use music to create an atmosphere of sacredness and contemplation. While Catholicism and Orthodoxy share a rich and ancient Christian heritage, their differences, from papal authority to theological emphasis, reflect how each has developed its own unique approach to the faith. Yet, when we compare the Latin Mass and Orthodox Divine Liturgy, we find that both continue to offer a deeply reverent, traditional, and sacred experience of worship. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content exploring Catholicism and Christian traditions. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on the differences between Catholic and Orthodox practices.